Previously on the Beam Chronicles.
The subterranean electrical wire was already unearthed, stripped, plugged into the back of Mo's body, shocking him of all his moisture. It was a charred mass in the shape of a person with a gaping hole running through the center. Oh, no.
Yes! Finally it's done! At long last across all of the galaxies of the multiverse, finally I've won! Finally payback is mine!
These are the Beam Chronicles, with your host, MJ Dooney. Book 3, Cataclysm. Chapter 25, Charlie Shayde.
Queztopo had stopped concerning himself with me. Instead, he was just consumed by a fit of nefarious, deranged laughter. He knew I wouldn't dare risk hurting him now. Now that I'd lost my secret weapon, I wouldn't hurt Jackson. Even with the world in the balance, I wouldn't touch him. How many times had I already proven that? What did Queztopo have to fear about me without Mo? I took the opportunity to scoop up my last hope, the fricasseed remains of my ambassador, and I grouped back to the ocean, tossing him into it. His body, if I could even call it that anymore, was porous and crispy. It floated like driftwood. I growled, bounding after it into the water all the way up to my waist, plunged him under the surface and held him there, giving him the opportunity to absorb as much water as possible, heal off the damage, come back to life. Of course he didn't. He couldn't. He wasn't even in there anymore. Don't you fucking dare do this to me! I roared as the tears streamed over my cheeks. I slammed the crispy body into the ocean again, holding him under. Of all your tricks, Foon, of all your wicked, evil, shitty fucking tricks! He bobbed back to the surface, still black, still dead. You goddamn asshole! I shouted, openly bawling and slamming my fist into his chest. He popped right back up. I punched him down again, even harder. You promised me, you bastard! You promised me you'd get my life back! I was beyond myself, foaming at the mouth, flailing my arms against this piece of char that was once a person. I thrashed and wailed like a maniac for as long as I could. The only fight left was against this fried piece of flesh. Eventually, I ran out of steam. Eventually, I had to quit. The pain was too much, the anguish, the heartbreak. I couldn't even see anymore. Through the tears and the salt water that had splashed up into my eyes, just blurry, distorted light reflecting off the ocean, and my only shot at salvation, utterly destroyed. The world was over. I failed. Queztopo took Jackson and Sydney and everything away from me in a way that even Prophet hadn't before. I hated him so much, but it didn't matter. I lost. I folded my arms across the charred body, buried my face into them, and sobbed. Unabashedly, gasping, wrecked, and without restraint, I thought that was where I'd be until the apocalypse finally came. Standing in the ocean with Mo's corpse, weeping like an infant, waiting for the only adversary who'd ever bested me to push the planet into the sun and burn my outsides the same way my insides were burning. The only thing left was to die. And never before was I more ready. Bring it on. There was nothing left to fight for. That's when I heard the bored, high-pitched sigh, cutting through my pathetic, defeated collapse. I was a person who infamously couldn't be startled. Yet this calm, soft little sigh, maybe a foot in front of my face, sent a jolt down my spine, made me physically jump. As I snapped my head up, I saw her, lying across her own folded arms on the other side of Mo's carcass, watching me with a peculiar grin stretched across her face. I'd never seen her in my life. This adorable, freckly Asian girl. She was younger than me, maybe 20, just barely tall enough that she could lean against the floating body while still touching the bottom of the ocean with the tips of her toes. She wore a flowing white dress, now utterly soaked, and a braid that ran down her back, all the way to her tailbone. There's nothing particularly strange about her other than the way she just showed up. I hadn't even sixed her approaching.
You're in my way.
I'm what?
I can't help him if you don't get off of him.
Huh? I stuttered, still too dumbfounded about where she'd come from in the first place, forget what she was saying.
Up, up, up.
She chanted excitedly, hopping a little in place and gesturing to the sky with both thumbs.
The cavalry's here, honey, even though I don't have a horse.
I was utterly baffled, but I listened to her instructions nonetheless. I lifted my arms off the body and stepped back slowly. She bowed her head, slightly in appreciation, took a deep breath, and let it out with a scarcely audible exhale as the quirky smile melted off of her face, suddenly quite serious. She arranged the fingers of her right hand into a pentagon formation, equal distance between each of them, and glared into it for a while to calibrate the spacing. When she was finally satisfied, she jabbed her fingertips into Mo's chest and held them there until her hands started vibrating. That vibration traveled up her arm into her body, and when it started to get more drastic, I stepped forward to offer her some help.
Nop.
She grunted to me, shaking her head and holding out her other hand to keep me at bay.
Don't. Almost done.
Sure enough, soon as she said it, she lifted her hand out of his chest, and with it came a bright white orb of glimmering, shiny, and strangely familiar light. And as she held it balancing on her fingertips, focusing on it so intently her tongue peeked from the corner of her mouth, all I could do was stare at the orb, wondering where the hell I'd seen it before, because somehow I knew I had seen it before. My first instinct was the telekinetic sinks that Sydney and I dissolved earlier that day, but those were more fire-like, swirling, hectic and inconsistent, howling with rage. This ball was perfectly spherical, smooth as glass, and hummed so tranquilly it hypnotized me into a trance. The strange girl who owned it remained transfixed by it as well, holding it perfectly still in one hand as she backpedaled out of the ocean. I noticed streaming off of it a trail of light leading all the way from her hand to the center of Mo's chest, right where she'd placed her fingers. Or I guess more appropriately, the stream flowed from Mo to her orb, as it seemed to be increasing in size as she held it, winding the tail around itself like a ball of yarn. It was only then, following that ribbon of light from body to orb and back again, that I glanced momentarily at Mo and realized what was happening. He was healing. He'd slowly transitioned from singed blackness to human flesh, and I watched as he proceeded to turquoise, dark blue, translucence, and finally his perfectly clear water-like self. He was reverting back to the way he was a few minutes ago. I softly gasped as I remembered the tortured baby in Howie's oubliette and where I'd seen that enamoring white light before. The hole in Mo's stomach filled up, and this mystery girl, having retreated up the shore so that she was only to her ankles in water, yanked back on her ball of light, severing the string still attached to Mo. It wound up briskly, like it was spring-loaded, back to her orb. And once she was assured of its security, without looking away from it, she cautiously reached into her pocket, pulling some brown, lumpy object from it. With one last hefty breath, she plunged the white light into the brown lump, and it vanished with a loud snap. Mo looked to be recovered, if a little disoriented, so I set my sights back on her, clenching her eyes and mouth shut like she was waiting for a big explosion. Slowly, she peeled one eyelid up, then the other, and then that cute little relieved smile ran back over her face.
Yes! Yes!
She laughed triumphantly, pumping her fist. I grouped right next to her, afraid that if I didn't stay close, she'd vanish. She didn't fear me. She didn't seem to care how close I got. Who are you? I asked.
Don't be dumb, you know who I am.
The girl smiled, rolled her eyes, slugged me gently in the shoulder. You were a baby the last time I saw you.
Well, let's just say time affects me in odd ways.
And like she suddenly remembered something else she had to do, the failsafe turned away from me, started running, as if her last comment had given our fateful meeting some sort of closure. No, please! I reached toward her. Please don't go. Stay with me. Help me. I need your help, and I'm all alone. You can help me.
You need me?
She froze in place, spun around, slowly grabbing the elbow of one of her arms and scrunching up her mouth. I don't know, yeah?
You're alone?
I mean, yeah.
Fucking hate being alone, man.
Same? So you'll stay? She glanced over her shoulder at nothing behind her, then nodded.
As long as I can.
There was a conviction in her that was ironclad, certain, and I knew I didn't understand enough of it to lend it pure clarity, but somehow it reminded me of the day I made friends with Leon Nash. After 2 weeks of toiling in my own thoughts, I'd have made friends with a gecko rather than spend another instant alone. The failsafe was much lonelier than me for much longer. That sort of harrowing eternal vacuum, it probably filled up pretty quickly. What's your name? I desperately asked the question that strangely burned hottest on my mind before she had a chance to try leaving again. The tiniest piece of insignificant information that I'd been longing for since the last time I asked it. Her deliberate, broad grin returned quickly.
Tokumi.
She gave me a little curtsy.
But, Toki is good.
Toki?
You got it, baby girl.
I watched her staring at me for a while, tipping her head over her shoulder, waiting for me to speak, so I tried before I really knew what I was going to say. There was so much else I should have been focusing on anyway in that moment. Still, I had to say something. Look, maybe it's the wrong time for this, but I gotta tell you, I need to say that I looked down to my feet, kicked a pebble across the beach, then glanced back up. I'm so sorry, Toki.
Huh? Why?
We didn't save you, and it was because we got so fucking preoccupied trying to... No justifications, no more excuses. This could have easily been my only shot at talking to the failsafe, and I needed to take advantage. I brushed my eyes with the palms of my hands before I tried again. I should have saved you. I should have helped you. Even if I knew it wouldn't have done any good, I should have tried. I wish that I would have, but I didn't, because I was afraid. But you were a baby, and you needed my help, and I didn't help you. I didn't help you. I'm so sorry, Togami. She scoffed, but not in a dismissive way, in a genuinely befuddled way. Cocking an eyebrow and smiling so curiously at me, as if I was the unexplainable oddity in this scenario. She glanced once over her shoulder again, nervously, like she was late for something important, then shrugged and ran up to me. Throwing her arms around my neck, yanking me in tight, I was too startled not to hug her back.
It wasn't your fault, idiot. Don't you get that yet? None of it was ever your fault. That's what makes you so goddamn good.
You think I'm good?
I mean, not always. But when it counts, definitely a good one.
So what, they're like grading on a curve now?
Oh, honey. They always have.
She pulled away, still beaming at me, wiped the tears off of my face.
Now be tough, kiddo. The demon's not licked yet. Keep gunning, Shayde.
Wait, how do you know my name?
You're famous, fuckwit.
Oh, right. I forgot. She giggled, kissed me on the forehead. There was a lot I needed to ask Tokumi, but she was right. I had to keep gunning. Mo? I turned back to my resurrected partner, committed to business as I stepped into the ocean.
Yes again, Chuck.
became the cockney swagger of my floating blue companion. Fuck.
That were a mite bit unpleasant, this coming from a bloke who's kicked it more than once.
Hi, Tyler.
Tokumi waved, rising up on her pigeon-toed feet. I didn't ask her how she knew his name. He was also kind of famous, but then I was also just pretty distracted by my ire that he dared to show up in the middle of this. Foon, fuck off! Put Mo back on!
Don't bloody know how to.
He groaned, shaking his head as he found his feet and meandered to join us on the beach. You have to be nice. Just do something nice.
Figure it's a little deeper than just doing
It's not.
something.
You literally were never nice in your entire life. That's why you didn't trigger the super sweet guy sharing your brain. Doesn't that make you feel shitty?
It ain't precisely my fault that I spent a good majority of the time I had my capacities locked in the fucking dungeons with no one to be nice at, and it is precisely yours, so fuck off.
Just say we look pretty today.
Toki suggested before my snarl could subside enough for me to retaliate.
Or give me $5. You got your wallet? Wait, does your wallet, like, turn into water when you turn into water,
Who
or...?
the fuck is this, then?
Tyler gestured at Tokumi as she stroked her chin and tapped her foot. Tokumi, I offered before I could add more. She cut in.
We've met, Tyler.
Have we?
Rude! I put your head back on. I was a baby, though.
She's the failsafe.
I ain't got no ruddy memory of the failsafe either way, so...
What the fuck does that matter?
She called me rude is all.
You're never gonna trigger Mo again if you can't even remember my name, and I saved your life.
I'll remember it now. What was it? Kokomo?
That's fucking racist, bro!
How the blood do you sound racist?
Just call me a fucking slur next time!
You said...
Wait, stop, both of you. I commanded as it dawned on me, a frantic, desperate sort of revelation, an epiphany that sparked flame into damp, dark eternity. Tyler,
What?
you're you.
Yeah?
You're not Mo.
Yes, well established, pet.
Mo would remember my name.
Give it one more time. I swear
Stop! I commanded, refocusing the most chaotic pair of new partners I could have hoped for. Tyler, did you choose to be you? Did you, opt into control when Tokumi brought you back?
Don't remind him my name!
She whined. I ignored her. Foon did too, coming online to my suggestion faster than Tokumi did, or maybe just actually paying attention to the crisis still very much at hand.
No. I didn't pick who was driving.
So if we kill Queztopo and Tokumi brings him back...
Unless he did.
He turned away from me, glancing at the beach.
Mo? You put me in the driver's seat, lad.
Who is Mo, anyway?
You guys, fucking chat? He glanced up at me from the corner of his eye.
Spent a lot of time isolated down there in the crypt. Voices in your head introduce themselves, you make friends.
Again, it was hard for me to deny the comfort of any friendly prospect when you had nobody but yourself. Before I could comment, belittle his insanity to distance myself from the subtle familiarity of it, his head shook, vibrating for a split second, and two yellow orbs appeared, submerged in the otherwise pure blue head.
Charlie? It's me. It's Mo.
Hi, Mo.
The failsafe declared cheerily, as I racked my brain for something altruistic Tyler had done in the last second or so.
I don't think I can... So, this is like... Okay, actually, here.
And with another rapid head shake, one of the yellow orbs vanished while the other stayed bobbing in place.
Let's see how this goes. Oh, bloody hell, what the fuck?
Tyler gasped, speaking from the same mouth that was just Mo's an instant ago. Tokumi laughed out loud, clapping and bouncing in place. I just stared, waited for more explanation.
Hey, I, died, right?
Mo's voice came from the blue figure in front of me, who I was no longer classifying with one single moniker. You did. I could only muster this much through my bewilderment.
Huh. Do people in this dimension normally come back to life when they die?
No, but... it is becoming a more common occurrence.
Thanks to me.
Tokumi curtsied.
I died before, right?
Tyler's voice emerged from the blue body.
You recall? And I killed Charlie, so...
Are both of you in there? I finally asked the question, even though I obviously knew the answer.
I can't put him down, Charlie.
Mo explained as the yellow orb in his head, their head, twinkled just slightly.
He was baiting us out for it. He knew whatever latent ability I have to suppress bull rods, it's not enough to get him deep enough that Jackson could ever take over again. He knew. So that whole round we just went through, he was fainting. He wasn't even fighting back, not really.
I gritted my teeth, Realizing that ragdolling him across the planet a few moments ago felt like such a triumphant victory, but was really just falling into his premeditated ploy. Queztopo spent a lot of time talking up his enormous strategic acumen and militaristic genius. We both should have known better than to assume we'd so easily get the jump on him.
But we can kill him, yeah?
Foon shook me out of my disappointed self-flagellation.
If we kill him and Tokumi brings him back.
No, call me Kokomo.
You fucking...
Yes.
Mo interrupted himself, a bizarre occurrence to witness, so I couldn't imagine how it felt for Tyler.
Tokumi changes everything.
Yeah, I'm pretty great.
The trouble is, what we have right now, this superposition of both me and Tyler, that's what Jackson will come back to. It's this coin flip state, this perfect equilibrium of me and Tyler both with equal claim to bodily control. See, when Queztopo is in charge, he can let Jackson out whenever he wants, then inevitably seize control after some time. You've seen this, but right now, the state Tokumi brought us back into, it's not mine, nor is it Foon's. It's both and it's neither.
So when you play nice, you can share it. I realized looking into the one golden eye, the other blue. But if one of you wanted control, if say Tyler rested you to the background, or... Okay. On cue, the blue figure's head lurched to the side, twisting as the gold orb sputtered a few times, then blinked right out.
Huh.
Foon's voice.
Yeah, I can do it. I can push him back, but then...
Again, the neck of the Mo-Foon hybrid flung itself, this time forward and let loose a grunt that was half of each of them. When it lifted its head, both eyes were yellow.
Either of us can fight for it. We have equal claim to it.
He appeared to wink, but when the yellow orb didn't return, I recognized it was just him inviting Foon to share consciousness again.
Battle of wills type thing. And there ain't no bloody way Queztopo is up to run co-op, hey?
So we'll need Jackson's help. I filled in the last steps of the plan. We kill him, you bring him back. I pointed to Tokumi, who seemed somewhat distracted by something in the sand, but snapped back to salute enthusiastically. Then it's up to JT to seize control long enough to knock him out. From there, we at least have him grounded, and time to think about what comes next.
We leave the fight on.
Foon nodded.
And Jackson's alive. But Charlie, it's not going to be easy. Pushing Queztopo down even for a few minutes, he's gonna have to brawl for it.
He will. I didn't even flinch.
You sure?
Mo asked, contritely doubting my conviction. I didn't give him room to do it again. Yeah, for me, he'll brawl.
Damn fucking straight.
Took a moment to scan across my new slapdash triumvirate. My former arch-nemesis, a lunatic mass murderer in quantum superposition with his pan-dimensional shoulder angel, and this enigmatic girl I'd only ever known as a tortured baby in a jar distracted by rocks in the beach, while the world teetered in the balance. This was not the crew I'd choose to march into battle against the end of times, but... I don't know, man. There was a time when I was staring down the half-baked power of a telekinetic phenom in constant moral quandary who couldn't keep his hands down, much less shut up his own head long enough to fight, and a demonic monster of titanic strength who broke out of imprisonment after I killed his little sister and assumed him too dangerous and brutish to even speak. We made all that work pretty spectacularly.
You know what? I've never thought about me wallet till today, Twinkles.
Oh yeah, is it water?
Nah, it's still just a wallet just sitting in me pocket, see?
Crazy. Can I have $5?
Actually, come to think of it, it just dawned on me that you're always wearing pants.
Yeah, I sorta drag me trousers along with me in the flow of it. Let them formulate wherever I put me willy and such.
Is that water?
I mean, yeah.
Have you ever peed while blue?
No, I don't think I can.
Uh-huh. Can I have $5?
What the bloody do you want $5 for?
What the bloody?
We're about to have a row with the end times, Twinkles. It ain't exactly a moment to hit up the shop.
I just haven't had, like, actual money in a while, you know?
You all right here?
Yay!
This could work. And tell her she's pretty.
Ha! You're a fit looker, Twinkles.
Aw, thanks. I'm way older than you. Tell Charlie she's pretty.
All right,
No,
Sha.
do not.
Yep.
Then again, I didn't know if Mo-Foon could even assemble themselves into control enough to actually fight, and Tokumi, as far as I knew, couldn't fight at all.
So,
Foon interrupted my contemplation.
not to be rude again, but should we leave Princess Mononoke here until we've taken the tyrant to task, or...
Before he could finish the thought, Tokumi whipped her hand into the pocket of her dress, withdrawing another orb of that familiar shimmering white glow. Foon and I both glared into it like moths drawn to a flame, so enthralled by its majesty we didn't even clock it hurtling in the direction of the sand at Tyler's feet. When it impacted the beach, it exploded. And Foon howled like a fool as he hurtled yards away, splashing into the ocean. I shot Tokumi a mouth agape sort of glance, and she smirked back.
One too many microaggressions out of him.
That was cool.
Yeah, I actually fight kind of good.
Thank you for listening to the Beam Chronicles, a fiction podcast written and produced by me, MJ Dooney. I skipped the outro last week for dramatic effect, so this one's kind of long. Sorry. Instagram, at the very least, should have some stuff this summer. TikTok, I still don't understand. YouTube is just like the episodes themselves, honestly. Twitter, did Elon Musk delete Twitter? I can't remember. But okay, follow me if you want to see some stuff I got cooking in the summer. More on that in a sec, actually. You can rate me on Spotify and or Apple Podcasts. I actually have 90 ratings on Spotify. Getting to 100 would be very cool. Email me, beamchronicles@gmail.com. Lots of you have been commenting on Spotify. I try to remember to respond to those, but overwhelmingly, all I want to say to all those comments is just thank you for giving my stupid little passion project so much love and support. You can also send me money on Buy Me a Coffee by clicking support the show in the episode description. This season has, I believe, 3 episodes left now, 2 chapters and an epilogue. It's good timing because my weekends get super busy this time of year, but I feel like much more so than for the previous 2 books. I have a lot of energy and motivation for this whole thing, possibly because of how much people have been reaching out, much higher clip than the last few years, possibly because I can kind of sense it picking up some steam. Like, I had 7,700 episode downloads for the first 2 years total that I did the show. I had 5,000 in March alone. So I was mulling over the idea of maybe doing some extra bonus stuff this summer. My lack of visual creativity makes popular social media platforms kind of hard to engage with, but I do have a halfway decent storytelling gene, and once April clears, I have a lot of free time. I definitely need to get down to finishing book 7. That's like top priority, but like you guys won't see that fruit until 2030, assuming we're all still here in some metaphysical sense. But I did have a few ideas for some prequel stuff, like Howard Prophet's precognition days, or Maria Carraway narrating her early days with Blaine Rector and Mike Mathis and Cal Sparks and Murphy. It'd be good to write some Murphy stuff, to be honest. But anyway, I have some ideas. I might put that out as like bonus content. Like, I still feel weird trying to make money off of this, but I like... If I paywall all of this shit on Patreon, am I just gatekeeping, or does that sound like a valuable use of people who love the show's money? Maybe could do some sort of behind-the-scenes stuff, sneak peeks of future episodes. I had another wild idea where, like, the characters get interviewed and people could submit questions they want to ask the characters in the show, and then I'd invent some random guy to do the interview and record responses in character. Is that too meta? Is that worth money? Oh, look, it's the thread. I thought I lost it. All music and sound effects were sourced from the Epidemic Sound Library. Special thanks to Janet Shasha for creating the cover art for the show. Find her on Instagram at ChiliBeanArt, and thank you again for listening.